What is poppin', ladies and gentlemen? I am your host, Shy Ill. Let me say it clearly once again. I am your host, Shy Ill. We're dealing with pronunciation issues when it comes to my name, so I will repeat it again. Welcome, my name is Shy Ill, the host of your Cartel Chronicle live stream today. And today's going to be a good one. We're pulling a double feature. Hope everybody's having a good Wednesday. The sun is shining. Snippy outside where I'm at. The sun is shining. Salutes to y'all. Eduardo Jimenez in the chat. Hello, Shael. Glad I caught this live. It made my lunchtime. Happy holidays, bro. Buen provecho. Have a great lunch. Happy holidays to you and yours, brother. I'm glad you caught this live too. Salutes. We are here and we're going to kick it for a while. And we got a double feature coming today. Yesterday I was looking for something specific and I didn't find it. We watched the video and I was a bit disappointed that we didn't find what I was looking for. But last night, just out of the blue, I happened to run into what I was looking for, and we're going to cover that today, and it's going to be dope. So I appreciate you guys being here. Salutes to everybody that walks in and walks out of the room. Make sure when you walk in, you wipe your feet, and please hit the like button. You don't have to do nothing else for me as long as you hit that like button. And if you'd like to, hit the subscribe button. Do that too. Share it with a friend. Make sure you comment. Say what you got to say. I'm very active in the comment section as well. And I appreciate you guys for being here. Anything we can do to move this channel forward, I'd appreciate your help. And I thank you for it in advance. So, here we are. It's a Wednesday afternoon. Today we're going to cover two things. One of them is what I had already said. We were going to start Finnegan's Take. So today we start Finnegan's Take with the live. I started the Finnegan's Take playlist with the Paperwork Party. The edited version is up there in the Finnegan's Take playlist on my channel. The edited version of the Paperwork Party. So if you haven't seen that, enjoy that. And that leads right into the Finnegan's Take podcast that we will start covering today with episode 1. For those that don't know, Finnegan's Take is the story of Jerome Finnegan, a filthy police officer from Chicago, and all his exploits. He had a squad that kind of crossed paths with the Flores twins, and that's what brought him to our attention. Amongst other things, once he was brought to our attention, a lot of things and memories and stuff from the past pop up about this guy. So we're going to dig into the Piglet Brigade, the SOS Squadron, and Jerome Finnegan. So we're going to make sure we get to that. But first and foremost, we are going to Chatting with Stacks page. Salutes to Chatting with Stacks. Bill Stacks, he's been in the comments, and every now and then he'll come and let us know, hey, Sammy the Bull's lying. You know what I'm saying? And we agree most of the time. Went through one of their videos yesterday and didn't see much pertaining to the story while we were live, but then after that I ran into it last night on YouTube and I was all the way in. It was a great episode. There's a couple of things that I need to correct, so Bill Stacks, do not take it personally. I like to hold myself and everybody else accountable when it comes to information, because on YouTube way too much people are regurgitating information, and this information can turn into other people getting hurt. For those that don't know, I have a playlist on this channel called the Tragic Death of Zach TV1. Zach TV1 was a guy from Chicago, and after he passed away, people on YouTube gossiping and speaking misinformation put 2 other people in harm's way, and I believe got them unalived. You know what I'm saying? So I believe we got to be very, very careful with the things we say and how we talk. Telephone game is real. Before, you used to be able to say, you tell somebody about the telephone game and they have to process it. Now you can see it. All you got to do is go on YouTube and telephone game it. Just watch my G Unit Spinning Chain video. You know, you'll see things change from interview to interview. We can't keep it right. Now, I don't blame Bill Stacks very much because his thing is the Italian mob. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how much he knows about the Flores twin story, but that's what we know over here. So that's why we're going to be here to pick it apart. He reacted to my video on the Sammy the Bull subject. So we've reached this crazy inception stage where it's going to be this guy reacting to that guy, reacting to this guy. So we reached the third level of Inception when it comes to that one. But we're gonna get into that right now. Salute to Daniel T in the chat. Let me get my 100s up in here. Let me get my 100s up in here. 100s in the chat. Salute to you. Appreciate you. Couple housekeeping things. We have, if you're looking, if you can make a donation to the channel, we have $2 TTS, which is text to speech. You can have a comment play right on my screen during the show for $2, and it'll speak it, and I'll read it as well. Same way I do in the chat. It'll look like this.
Test user sent $50 test message.
And for $5, you can attach a YouTube link, and it'll pop up a video on my screen, and I'll react to it right then and there. Only if it is something that won't get my channel knocked down. You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate you guys. Thank you guys for being here. I got a couple of timestamps so that we're not looking crazy. Again, salutes to Bill Stacks and Bobby. Bobby was the guy I was clowning in yesterday's live for being the moral high ground in prison for everybody. But I'm gonna give Bobby the benefit of the doubt, and we're gonna get this popping. Again, I appreciate you guys for being here. Thank you very much. And salutes to the chat. Edward Jimenez, Eduardo Jimenez first in the chat. Daniel T's in the chat. Chucky Chingong in the building. Dope track Shy, that Latino shit. Appreciate it. Thank you very much. That's Cuervo, produced by the great Dame Grease. And background vocals with my brother Bigger Threat. So it was a record that was a long time coming. Good party record. I appreciate y'all for being here. Thank you very much. All right, here we go, man. Let's get into this. Like I said, I got a couple of timestamps so that we're not looking crazy. Start over here at 8:27. JP the Ghost in the building. Salutes to you. We are here early afternoonish today. Ariza, love watching your content. Thank you very much. You are appreciated. You are appreciated. Thank you for being here. Again, everybody that comes in, wipe your feet and hit the like button, please. JP the Ghost, Dame Grease the Legend, absolutely. Everybody's favorite producer's favorite producer. We've made some magic together in my lifetime, in my humble little lifetime. All right, first timestamp. Again, you guys could check the description if you guys want to go to Chatting with Stacks show, which is Bill Stacks' channel. They cover a lot of Italian mob stuff. And they have panels. They sit on the panel and they talk. So, pretty cool. Here we go. Let's say 8:17. We're going to go from here.
It started, things started.
2 weeks. He was,
2 weeks.
This is Bill just asked him, how long was Sammy in the joint before he started talking crazy to people and acting a fool?
Yeah, within 2 weeks he was talking shit to people, and what happened is he'd get 2 or 3 guys around him, them young kids that wanted to idolize him, and he talks all that gangster shit. So he thought he had backing with these kids would be these young buff motherfuckers. And
talking about the Flores twins?
No, they weren't tough guys, not at all.
No, you're talking about other
inmates.
I don't know how he pulled Flores twins out of. He gets these young buff guys and and tries to manipulate them. The Flores twins, he said. But Buddy Bobby said they weren't tough guys. Now, what does that mean? Were they not bullies or were they pushovers? You know what I'm saying? Because we haven't heard any pushover stories. If there is, by all means, Bobby, let them fly. Salutes to Old Soul in the chat, as usual. Hope you're having a good Wednesday.
General.
So he thought that they would have his back, right?
Well, that's what he felt. But in those type of units, nobody has anybody's back.
He said muscleheads in general, young goofies in general.
No. It's who can get to the guard the quickest and tell. So Sammy was famous for that. Sammy would drop notes. He'd go to the, because
he said who could get to the to the guard as quick and tell. Sammy was notorious for that. Sammy dropping notes.
He's a bigwig, in his own mind. So he'd run to the unit manager's office and drop a little envelope in the door.
And then they come in with bags and pack his shit up, right?
Not Sam, but yeah. Oh yeah, Sammy had a license. So anybody he put their name on that paper, they were gone.
Yeah, because Sammy's probably like top priority in there.
Right.
Like anything Sammy wants or does.
Hey, you want to see? Hey, he's a jealous bitch, boy.
I know. He's
the Flores brothers came in, right?
Yeah, and tell me this story about.
He was so fucking jealous of them. I mean, he was super jealous. And
because everyone went
super jealous. So if you remember when we did that Sammy the Bull video, the first thing he said was, they came in and made a big deal like these guys were big time or something. And that's hater talk right there. You hear somebody say something like that, they could tell you all day they're not jealous, but that seed of jealousy is living inside for a fact.
To them, right?
Well, you know what? The difference between him and the Flores brothers is P and J are actually good guys. They're real friendly, outgoing, real polite. I'm gonna give you the shirt off their back. Real nice kids, and so they got along with everybody. And Sammy would talk shit about this person, and he like a little bitch. He's just a gossiper. And I mean, guys, like me, I read him like a book. He ain't shit to me. But yeah, Sammy's a piece of work, all right. Real piece of work.
Did anyone ever get him in there did anybody ever get to him in there?
No. So it says Sammy claims he was backed by the AB. Any truth to that? So
tattoos, man.
Let me tell you how this went down. All right. A friend of mine was in there named Corfett. All right. And he was a badass. He was an AB guy and worked out every day, real smart, real intelligent, and he cracked heads. But he was a real nice guy. But
I don't know that we care about this. Basically, this is the story of the there's a big story about Sammy selling art, and basically he's getting some other guy to cover the art and got another text, y'all. He would do the art and Sammy would sign the art and then try to sell the art. You know what I mean? And that's his scam. I believe it's still part of his scam today. This crazy good art. You know what I'm saying? That's what he said that he owed the Flores twins about as well. So that's all they're talking about here is his connection to them and the Aryan Brotherhood.
And he was a tattoo artist, and he was an artist.
To the next
looking
Flores.
for gang tattoos, any symbols, whatever.
Stop.
But
sleep, bro. I was supposed to be on at 11.
There we go.
Fell asleep. The lines of communication got mixed, but it's all good. We're here now. So let's finish the story with the Flores twins.
The BMF, Black Mafia family.
Were they over there at the time?
Yeah, there was one. There's one over there.
Was it Big Meech?
No,
he's not in the cooperators unit.
No, he's not in the witness unit or protection unit.
No,
so
he's in general
the Flores
population.
brothers, nice guys, came in. A lot of publicity behind them as far as when they got arrested and and their cooperation, so on and so forth. They came in and they were very, very nice guys. Good guys. I met their wives. Both their wives were real nice ladies. Very respectful. I mean, you never think of them as drug dealers, but they ran it like a business,
Did you hear the stories that Sammy's telling now about the Flores twins? Have you heard it?
No.
Oh, man, maybe we should just go over his stories.
I'm sure it's bullshit.
We could debunk
Listen, Sammy
all of
tried
it.
to extort them.
I'm sure it's bullshit. It's a shame when everybody says that about you. 10 of us in here. Hope I got 10 likes. Please hit that like button if y'all in here watching. It's free and it takes less than a millisecond. I appreciate you.
Them kids. Try to get money out of him. He had money. They Pedro P, which is Pedro's the guy in the front. But P or Pedro, whatever. But P had his wife meet him in the visiting room and gave his daughter money.
Yeah, it was supposed to something about $800, and I guess Karen Gravano called one of the Flores twins' wives something like low life trash. Or something like that.
Right.
Dude.
Here's the thing. That's not how the story was told, but we believe that's what happened. We believe that Karen spoke first and said something slick first, right? But the way the story was told by Sammy was that Viv called Karen and Sammy peasants. We know that's not true.
These low life trash, but I just don't buy the story that he's telling at all.
Yeah, well, listen, P is like the, I don't know, P would be like the church going guy, real calm, collected, and his wife was, the prom queen, real pretty, real polite, quiet, right?
She pretty.
And then Jay, right, and his wife Val. There's Valerie, and they're both named Valerie, but
no, they're not.
Val. There's the exact opposite is Jay. Jay.
One of them used to be married to Queso, the one that got killed. DMX's friend.
Right. That's who I'm talking about.
Bill, Queso is cheese. Kato is King Kato from Chicago.
Val, she was married to a leader of the Latin Kings. So and he got killed. But
names are very important. People take that type of shit seriously. You know what I'm saying? We got to be very aware of the things that we say, and because then it just sounds like you phoning it in. You know what I'm saying? And I try not to just phone it in. Yes, sometimes I'm a little distracted. I got a lot of things going on. I'm producing the show. I'm dealing with the chat. I have other things off of YouTube that need my attention right then and there. That's why I do the live, and that's why I appreciate my audience, because y'all ain't tripping on me about little things like that. But when it comes to the information, sometimes during the live I'm wrong. But I have an opportunity and I have a second pass to go through an editing and say, oh, you were wrong right here. You can just cut this out. You know what I'm saying? Stop. Don't continue to spread and manifest the information just because it's there and because you consider it content. You know what I'm saying? Let's get the information right. So anyways, the man's name was Kato, not Queso.
Yeah, the one on the right.
And then
he got killed. Latin Kings. So he got killed. But the one on the right.
Yeah,
that's Val.
Chris's. Shout out to my boy. That's his really good friend. He's been on the show.
Who's that, Val?
No, one of my friends that was really good friends with Queso.
Kato.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Jesus
so that's
Christ. Queso.
That's kind of like what they looked like when they went in. But so Jay and Val, they're like the thugs in the family, And yes. So Karen Gravano or Sammy, none of them said nothing to Jay or Val. I can assure you of that. Because Val would have said, go ahead, go fuck yourself, you cocksucker.
Yeah, I got a clip of Sammy. Let's check it out. He might be talking about them in this clip. I'm not really sure. Don't mind the slobbering Sammy sucking on his cigar.
Hey guys, we got a Monday Live again. We had an exciting week.
No, I'm gonna skip this because this ain't got nothing to do with what we talking
What do you call him? He's a Fox contributor. That's his role.
I'm like shocked that he even is a part of anything. Like they're letting him on there to talk about the presidency and this and that. Like,
Yeah, you know, listen, this guy's a fucking dirtbag.
Yeah,
he's a
I think
master
I've used those
manipulator.
same words before.
He's got a
He
lot of
is.
people fooled.
He is, you know, because of his past, you know, of all the bodies he's got. And it wasn't, you know, listen, he got attributed to a lot of bodies on the street that he had nothing to do with. But he had that reputation, you know, and it just gets spun into, you know, it really wasn't. You know, like
Turns
Sammy
into this legend. Yeah.
Listen, he didn't put no work in. I mean, he, you know, it ain't nothing for a guy to sit there and say, yeah, go whack this fucking guy.
Yeah.
Right? You know, it ain't nothing to do that. You know, but to get in and hit a guy in the head, you know, that's something different. Has Sammy done that? I'm sure he's been in some fights and shit, but do I think that he would, you know, go up against someone one-on-one and not be scared? Yeah, he's scared to death. He's always got to have people around him.
Has he ever been in like a physical fight in the witness unit, like in the back, like
no? He got slapped in the mouth once.
Smacked in the mouth.
He ran to a cell and came out talking shit to everybody.
I might have heard that story.
And blah blah, but he didn't do nothing.
I believe it.
Oh, I mean, it's a fact. I mean, if he did, I tell you, he didn't do the shit. You know, but you know, I went in when I was 20. You know, I was 27 years. You know, it's indoctrinated to me. Motherfucker punched me or slaps me in the mouth, he's in trouble.
Yeah,
you know?
All right, Bobby.
Do anything possible to make him not lift his arms up again, right?
Yeah, something like that.
Listen, I ain't the toughest guy in the block, but I'm not gonna sit back and let anyone fuck with me and put their hands on me. It's not gonna happen.
No, that ain't cool.
No.
Fortunately, I didn't have any.
I don't care.
Husband?
Ex-husband, yeah.
Yeah.
I've had close
husband.
Ex-husband. Cato was his name.
There you go. Somebody corrected him. All right, not queso.
Yeah, Cato was his name.
Queso is
cheese.
That
was Val's husband.
Ex-husband, yeah.
Yeah.
I've had a close friend of Cato's on. Go check out my interviews and you'll find out. You'll go find out who it is.
You should tell me.
During this incident, Sammy is claiming that he threatened these guys, right? And then he got moved because the warden said that Sammy had connections with El Chapo and he was going to hit these guys and some bullshit, man. And he's like, well, what are you talking about? I never was going to have these guys killed. I don't have any connection with El Chapo. I think he's like trying to spin the story to sound like bigger than he was.
Yeah, he didn't have nothing to do with Chapo. Nothing. He's a fucking he's a bum is what he is. You know, he got a little reputation, so everybody scared of him, so he would, you know, he profited on that. When he went to the joint, he was dead broke. He didn't have a nickel. You know? Everyone thought he had millions of dollars. He didn't have shit. You know,
everyone thought Sammy had millions.
Yeah, everyone thought he had millions on the street. He didn't. I mean, the money that he did have on the street, he didn't get it. He didn't get it brought back, you know, because he cooperated. But when he got out and had that book sale,
yeah,
you know, that's where he made some money.
See, that's probably the money that he says he had, because he said when he got out, or when he was in witness protection, when he got out the joint, he said he had $4 million. Was that book money?
You know, but when he was back,
yeah, when he was his money because the son of Sam Law in New York, is the son of Sam Law, and no one could profit off other people's deaths if you were if you were involved. You can't profit.
You know, his wife and his daughter and his son and him all got indicted together. I think Karen and his wife had to pay like 100 or 200.
Yeah, I don't care. We're moving on to the Flores twin stuff.
He didn't like him and thinking, oh, I might be able to make African. He was a co-defendant too. He got mob, you know, and then
Karen?
Yeah. Sammy didn't have any money.
Was with the money.
We're talking about how Sammy doesn't get along with his daughter
They
because
got
she got
hip to
black
his
boyfriends.
hip to their. They were young and dumb and just
Here we go.
talked them into giving them some.
Flores twins.
Arguing over $800.
I don't believe this
Is his
story.
daughter
Karen?
sending him money? Karen?
Yeah. Sammy didn't have any money.
Because so the story is that they were arguing over $800 in the visiting room.
All
I
right.
guess one of the El Chapo twins' wife, Val, one of the Vals, was supposed to give
One of the Vals.
Karen $800 for some reason. He owed it to Sammy.
Right. Yeah, I can believe that.
No, yeah, but so why would they owe him money? They're the ones with the money. Why would the guy?
Because he probably talked him into giving him some. I think he had maybe he got $5,000 from him once. There's a few times that he got money from him, and he just come up with some bullshit, and they just, they were young and dumb and just probably just didn't want to hear it. Gave it to him,
But were they? Yeah. Were they young and dumb? Because by that point, it was the end of their empire. And quite an empire it was for a while. Were they pushovers, or like you said, did they just want to get Sammy off of them like an old Gollum, an old Schmeagol, like get off me, man? Or I'm sure they paid him for services. I'm sure Sammy had something to offer at some point or another. Maybe not. Who knows?
But after a while, they got hip to their hip to Sammy's ways,
Here's Karen and her sweetheart nap.
Right. Yeah.
I chose Adler because of the social justice component. I think it's one thing to pursue a degree in public policy, but to
Well, she looks totally different now. Totally different.
Dude look crazy.
Yeah, she's a piece of work, man.
No, I wasn't with Sammy when Mob Wives were on.
Was he was in a different prison when that was going on?
Yeah.
So he got moved by then, right?
Yeah.
So
Felix Reyes in the chat said, I thought it was for some artwork. That's what was said in the podcast. Or that was what was said in the we're gonna go through it right now anyway. In the Sammy the Bull interview. He said it was for some artwork. But again, he was running a scam where somebody else was doing the artwork. He was signing on it and he was selling it for a premium, you know what I'm saying? And that's where that whole $800, that's where Sammy says that $800 comes from. According to Bobby, he got them for that $800 and supposedly he got them for another $5,000. Again, the twins had money to throw around, you know what I'm saying? So I'm sure they did. To say that you strong-armed them, then I don't know. I'd have to hear opposing statements.
the Flores twins. You want to tell us about him bringing drugs in for them?
Well,
For
that's
Sammy?
that's when Sammy and I had a falling out. Is because I generally like these two kids, and I seen Sammy abusing them, and
How?
they're young and he's just taking advantage of them. I don't like that shit. That shit ain't cool.
They were in their mid-20s.
So I said something to him, and he was wanting to have him bring in tobacco and cocaine. So
this
he's
guy,
just taking
again,
advantage of them.
Bobby, which is what I said yesterday, Bobby all of a sudden has the moral high ground because he likes these guys and he's looking at Sammy like, man, why you doing this to these guys, bro? You're trying to ruin these guys. Like, what do you care, really? You're in the joint.
I don't like that shit. That shit ain't cool. So I said something to him, and he was wanting to have him bring in tobacco and cocaine into the visiting room and put it into the little candy machine.
All right, so a minute ago it was having him. Hold on, we got to go back. Alexa, stop. Alexa wilding right now. Is the story that they brought in drugs and coffee for him, or is the story is he wanted them to start bringing in coffee and drugs? That's the question.
They're young, and he's just taking advantage.
So I'm gonna
Bringing
go back
drugs.
a little
So the
Yep.
Flores twins. You want to tell
Yes.
us about him bringing drugs in for them?
Well,
Sammy.
that's when Sammy and I had a falling out, is because I generally like these two kids, uh, and I seen Sammy abusing them, and they're young and he's just taking advantage of them. I don't like that shit. That shit ain't cool. So I said something to him, and he was wanting to have him bring in tobacco and cocaine.
He was wanting to have them bring in tobacco and cocaine. I don't hear that that's what happened or that's what he did. He could want a lot of things. I'm sure he wanted to be 6 feet tall his whole life. That's not what he got. You know what I'm saying? So what he wanted don't concern me.
Into the visiting room and put it into the little candy machine, and he would go in at night and sweep mop the floor. He'd be in there by himself, so he'd just go over there and grab it. But yeah, real fucking winner.
He's got these.
Oh, Vivian, yeah, Viv. Yep.
Okay,
Yeah.
somebody corrected him on that too, on Viv. Again, I'm not perfect. I make mistakes too. But I do my best to make sure I'm giving out the best information that I can give, because I know how much people's mouths can turn into a domino effect of other things that happen. You know what I'm saying? You give off the wrong information, which leads to the wrong argument, which leads to the wrong confrontation with the wrong person that has the wrong, the bad day and has a wrong weapon on them. And then, it's you got to say the right thing. I don't want to be up here just saying this, that, or the other. If I don't have no proof, I would have never said that I wholeheartedly believe that the Flores twins were the ones that got that chain into 50 Cent's hand if I didn't believe that the only piece of evidence we have that even mentions the chain, puts Young Buck, Chicago, and the twin together is a song. We have a song. Nobody else has something that puts all those things together like that. We have that, so I can say that. You know what I mean? But we got to be careful with the information. We done called dude Queso. We done gave the women both the name Val. If why should I believe anything if this is the kind of information you're throwing out at me?
Vivian is
So they corrected him on her name. It's Viv. It was Viv that got into it with Karen.
P's wife. Her
Valerie
dad's a cop, or was a cop, I guess, in Chicago.
Yeah, that's right. The one on the right, dad's a cop, right?
No, on the left.
No, both of them. Both of their dads are cops. Again, I don't fault these guys because these guys are into the mob. They don't know much about this story. We know plenty about this story on this side. So I don't really blame them, but they're like, left, the one on the left, the one on the right. Her dad's a cop. No, her dad's a cop. Both their dads are cops.
I just watched
Cop, or was a cop, I guess, in Chicago.
Yeah, that's right. The one on the right, dad's a cop, right?
No, on the left.
On the left. I just watched I don't get to watch a lot of shit, but I did just watch an interview where they were going over Surviving El Chapo, that book, right?
Right.
And
Cartel Wives, the book. Surviving El Chapo, the podcast.
Val called in. She called into the YouTube channel.
Val called in. Who could that have been? Oh, she called in to us. That's what happened.
All right.
Val, if you're hearing this, that book, right?
Right.
And Val called in. She called into the YouTube channel. So Val, if you're hearing this, please get in contact with me and we could talk about this whole situation.
Respectfully, Mr. Stacks, that's why she came here. Because we pay attention to detail. You know what I'm saying? If they're out there listening and they're hearing quesos and everybody's name is Val and only one of their father's a cop and they're hearing all of that, it's like, why do they want to talk to you? You know what I mean? This is not me coming at you. This is me just letting you know this is how you get that kind of shit. You know what I mean? Like, that's why she comes here. Because I'm trying to let the facts be the facts. I'm trying to take all the rumors and throw them in a grinder and grind out the truth at the end. And that starts with, getting people's names right and not confusing them. And it happens a lot. It happens on other channels. I pointed it out. If you go through my videos, I'm pointing it out all the time. You got this wrong. This person got that wrong. And guess what? I don't bat 1,000. I'm not right all the time. But I make it my business. You know what I'm saying? I make it my business. So that's why a person like Val would come here. You know what I'm saying? It's because we put that extra effort into the details. You know, and again, I'm enjoying your show. I'm enjoying your conversation with Bobby. But I'm gonna call it how I see it.
Because Sammy says that he was basically.
Salute to the chat. Oso said facts, and Daniel T said do your homework. It hit different. Hit different after the homework.
Please get in contact with me. So Val called in. She
You know, you think Val's gonna deal with the? Yeah, no. She don't really call in nowhere. Again, I held her to the flames about her friend Ron to Strong. Why she didn't hit up and try to build? She had her reasons, whatever her reasons are. She also had her reasons why she called us, because we take the material seriously. We're not just phoning it in. It's not just a fly by night conversation.
Called into the YouTube channel. So right. Val, if you're hearing this, please get in contact with me and we can talk about this whole situation. Because Sammy says that he was basically, he spins the tail pretty crazy, man. I couldn't even.
And you know what? If P&J thought for a second that, you know, they could gain something out of it or you know, get some closure or something by talking about it, they would. But they're not gonna. They're not like that, you know.
Yes,
they know in their hearts that Sammy's a piece.
Because I want to have the Sammy the Bull conversation with them.
Piece of shit, but they won't come on here and say that. I mean, they're. I mean,
nah,
they're not like.
We're gonna gas them up. We're gonna try to get them to come out here and say that. Vernon Hines, Bobby is sus. Wonder who he told on, and why he's in the same spot as the twins and Sammy. Sounds like these dudes are lost. I just got in here. I might be missing something. Nah, you pretty on. We called Bobby sus yesterday. You know what I'm saying? We called Bobby sus yesterday in the live, like, yo, you know, how you the you know, moral hierarchy of, you know, protective custody. Like, why are you so worried about those 25, 26-year-old men in there getting manipulated by an old mob guy? Like, what's your angle? You know what I'm saying? But that's always going to be a question that we ask. It's how we move. It's how we think. So salute to you, Vernon Himes. Appreciate you. Better late than never. There's always the playback. But we on and we popping. But you pretty much nailed it.
Gentlemen, they really are on here and say that. I mean, they're. I mean, they're not like. I mean, they're gentlemen. They really are.
Yeah,
you know?
I can tell. I can tell.
Yeah,
the wives are in prison right now.
Yeah, for taxes.
One of them called in today.
Money laundering. If it was for taxes, might have been a more lenient sentence. You know what I mean?
To a show. She wasn't in prison.
She wasn't in. Well, maybe they
are in prison right now.
Yeah, for taxes.
One of them called in today to a show. She wasn't in prison.
She wasn't in. Well, maybe they what do they do? Yeah, they got when they got sentenced. They got sentenced to 3 years.
Yeah, but she go in January.
I'm gonna tell you right now.
J-Rock 817 BOS said, do you think the cartel likes people doing all this research on them? I think there's a lot of things the cartel don't like. You know what I'm saying? That's their business, what they don't like. Once you are trying to, you know, just like we talked about in the live yesterday, Chopper wanted to make a movie. Once you start making movies or your stuff is in the news, man, it's on us to have the conversation. You know what I mean? Now, as far as research, is it really research? Us specifically, we out here sifting through everybody's glorifications and everybody's lies and trying to get down to the nitty gritty. If you call that research, cool, then it's research. But I don't think it matters. Everybody that was gonna go to jail went to jail. The you know, the stories are done. Those people that were sitting at the top are no longer at the top. There's other people at the top. So and guess what? When their reign is over, we'll be talking about them. So I don't know. I don't think you know. I'm sure there's a lot of things the cartel don't like, but that, you know, doesn't really matter to me. I think they're looking for the date.
in the camp.
Maybe they're out on appeal.
No, they're not out on
What you been-
nothing. One of them went in. Viv went in. I appreciate you, J Rock 817. Salutes to you. Respect. Viv went in. I don't know. I believe October or November.
Into this YouTube
And,
channel today. So
Right. Well, maybe she's in the
called
And
into this YouTube channel today.
And Val goes in January
Right.
sometimes, I
Well,
believe.
maybe she's in the camp.
Maybe they're out on appeal. They
It
could be.
Or maybe they have to go after the first of the year or something. Turn themselves in.
July, boom, boom, sentenced to prison for money laundering scheme. It says
in July,
spouses,
they're in prison,
relatives, El Chapo, top agency, blah, blah, blah. Mia Flores, known as Vivian Lopez, tearfully begged for mercy from one of the federal judges Monday. Flores pleaded guilty for no prison time after admitting she illegally sent a small fortune of drug money made by her husband, Pedro, who turned on his boss, El Chapo. While Pedro was away in jail, the money flowed, and now Miss Flores is going to prison for the first time, sentencing in a lucrative laundering scheme funded by the cartel profits. So I'm pretty sure they're out on bond at the moment.
Probably so, yeah.
Or appeal, and they'll end up having to, go self-surrender or something.
Yeah. But
here,
July,
I got a video. I got a video for you guys.
It's a long time for them to be out.
This was in July. No, it's not. It's December, bro. You can be out for like 6 months. They'll let you hang out till Christmas, after Christmas, and then go turn yourself in. They've done that.
Chucky Chingong in the chat said, yeah, buddy, shy is the truth. I mean, we just trying to get to the truth over here, dog. That's it. As close as we can get to it, because we'll never know. You never know what's in people's heads, But we're going to get as close as we can get. Because here's the thing. The internet is a place for people to embellish on these stories and for people to make themselves, tell their own story. And, everybody who writes their own story is going to come out the victor, the one that had all the grace and the victories. And, they're going to write the story in their favor. Sammy don't know he's a jerk off. And if he does, that's something he only admits to himself in the mirror at night or laying in his bed, but he don't know he's a jerk off. So these guys come out here with their stories, Spider Lope believes his story, and I believe his story. I just don't believe that story is what got the chain into 50's hand, So we just trying to get to the truth, bro. That's it. We trying to cut off everybody's fat, all the fat, get to the lean shit. You know what I mean?
Here, you can hear it for yourself. Let me just play this video. Make sure you guys hit the like button, subscribe, hit the notification bell.
Yeah, hit the like button, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Just Bill Stacks ain't lying. Salutes to Bill Stacks. If y'all want to follow him, in the description, his channel and the link for the original
nights in
video.
the office, sending quotes, sending emails, and immediately.
And if you don't, get the fuck out of here.
Hey, you got this down here messed up. It says if you want to need help.
You know what I'm saying?
It says if you want
It's a lot, bro. It's a lot. I do the same thing. I mess up all the time. We just try to keep it thorough around here, man. But when it comes to information and when it comes to rumors and gossip, it can get people hurt.
I don't know what that is.
And if you guys have not seen my coverage of the life and death, the tragic life and death of Zach TV1, please go do that. There's a playlist on my channel, the tragic life and death of Zach TV1. I also have crime documentary reaction playlists in there. Please go take a look at the other stuff we have to offer around here. You know what I'm saying? We try to keep it thorough as possible on all subjects.
All right, ready? We're gonna watch this video.
Oh, that's Vivian.
Fortune in drug money made by her husband Pedro, who turned on his boss, the ruthless drug lord known as El Chapo. While Pedro was away in jail, the money flowed. But tonight, the teary Ms. Flores is going to prison, the first sentencing in a lucrative laundering scheme funded by Chicago cartel profits. Mia Flores, who goes by a different name these days, Viviana Lopez, arriving at federal court Chicago to be sentenced for laundering drug money made by this man, her trafficker husband turned government informant, Pedro Flores. He was one of the infamous Flores twins with his brother Margarito. They were a Chicago tag team for the Sinaloa Cartel, owned and operated by Joaquin El Chapo Guzman, a billionaire and bloodthirsty drug lord, El Chapo now serving a life sentence himself. As the Flores twins flipped on Chapo, made secret recordings with the kingpin, and helped put him away, their wives became mini celebrities. Mia and Olivia Flores, branded as wives of the cartel, doing interviews and writing a book about being married into a drug mob. But with their husbands in prison, authorities say the wives got greedy, spending $869,000 on vacations, cars, clothing, private school tuition, and a new business startup, oddly, a cleaning firm. In court documents, the government asking that Ms. Flores receive at least a 9-year sentence, while she requested probation and strict home confinement. Judge Martin Cannelli deciding on 3.5 years in prison.
The judge obviously saw a sympathetic case here.
Our chief legal analyst and former Chicago federal prosecutor Gil Sofer tonight says Flores' sentence is no kiss on the cheek, and that Flores didn't help her case by making a spectacle of being a cartel wife.
None of that helped. Putting herself out there, making the most essentially of her fame as a cartel wife, that can only hurt at a sentencing before a federal judge. It almost certainly hurt here too, although the biggest issue for her was simply she did not return the money that she was supposed to return.
Mia Flores to report to prison in October at 3.5 years behind bars. The cartel wife and money laundress is receiving a longer term than even El Chapo's wife, who was handed just 3 years. Chapo's wife helped run his empire.
Yo, they smashed the cartel wives, Joe, because that Emma Coronel, bro, she just stopped in, boy. She did a pit stop at the joint and got right out.
Aided his escape in 2014. Also sentenced today, Flores' aunt, who was brought into the scheme. She got 1 year in prison. The other cartel wife, Olivia Flores, is to be sentenced in late September. She can't be feeling very good tonight.
It was one of them. I got to check which one it was. It must have been the other one that was on there.
Yeah, it must have been Val. Yeah, listen,
they come in. Yeah, it was Val. It was Val that was on the YouTube
They come into
channel.
the visiting room, and Val. Vivian was more down to earth. Val, she was, she wasn't a snobby person, but she was like, she was a lady, I guess you would say, She was out of place in the visiting room, but she had $1 million diamond on her finger.
Yeah, so that's what Sammy was talking about. That she had this big rock on her finger, and that Karen was like, I'm gonna bite her fucking finger off.
Not Karen, his niece.
Yeah. Karen's more ghetto.
It's typical Karen shit, right?
Yeah.
Seems like they're all the same.
The Nirvanos are
daughter,
just out
the nieces
for themselves, and they don't want to do an honest day's work. They'd rather work, get money off the sweat of someone else's back.
That's exactly what they do.
I just want to say salute to the chat. Applause to y'all. A little self-applause to y'all. Salutes. 100's in the chat. I appreciate y'all being here. All
right, let me see. I got that right.
Oh, do they talk about Sammy in that podcast of theirs?
Here it is.
Briefly.
Sammy, right here. Sammy the Bull.
They briefly speak about Sammy on that podcast. They talk about how he was the inspiration behind hey man, we cooperate, we can get 5 years. Look how Sammy got 5 years. Psh, that didn't work.
Speaks on relationship with the El Chapo twins. All right, you ready for this? Yep. All right, Chili Reacts. Go subscribe to Chili React.
All right, y'all. For those that know my name, all right, this Chili Reacts shit has to stop. All right. I got a friend, salute to Tops World, all right? Tops World got his own YouTube channel. If you're into sneakers, you go follow Tops World, TOPZ World. for the first year we knew each other, he called me Chill. All right, a lot of people. This is not just Bill. This is not just a lot of people instantly go to Chill. It's like those two words together. Shy ill. The dash between is silent for a lot of people. It just gets lost in the sauce, and I become chilly. You know what I'm saying? It's funny. I was getting a text about a friend of mine that passed away, and how we need to go get him a stone. And he used to call me Chilly Willy, but that was a joke. You know what I mean? But here we are having this chilly conversation. So, boom, we got Bill right here calling me Chilly, all right?
Relationship with the El Chapo twins. All right, you ready for this? Yep. All right, Chilly reacts.
Chilly reacts, all right? And he tries again later. He gets to us, but let me show you. This isn't the only occurrence of this happening. So there's a young lady named Alicia Shanice who has an Apple podcast, which I think I'm gonna start putting all of these episodes that I've done on all of the platforms, all of the podcast platforms, because I think we deserve to be there, and I'm gonna put them there. So, anyways, just the other day, I get a message about there's somebody that's covering Surviving El Chapo, and they're using a piece of my footage. And again, I'll let you hear it for yourself. Here we go.
And let me give him a shout out. His name is Chilly Reacts.
Chilly Reacts, all right? With Chilly Reacts. Now, if it continues, I'm just going to have to turn into Chilly Reacts. I mean, it's just going to have to be what it is. I'm going to have to create an alter ego and be Chilly Reacts. Otherwise, my name is Shy Ill. Shy as in shy and timid. Don't get it twisted. You know what I'm saying? Shy as in Chi-Town. Shy as in Chicago. Ill as in Illinois. You know what I mean? The dash in between. But my name is Shy Ill. So I'm going to make sure that I say it out loud at the beginning of every video that I do, because I noticed the video that he plays, this could have been corrected easily. It's not his fault. This could have been corrected easily if I would have just said my name at the beginning of the video and not waited for everybody to pronounce it. But for those that don't know, it's Shy Ill. You know what I'm saying? If we close, if you're one of the first 24 people in my chat in the early days, then, you know, a funny little chili here and there is all good. Don't get carried away. But yeah, so that's what's happening. We're having a problem with the name over here. We're Chilly Reacts around here.
He found the clip, so here it goes. So his voice is over talking as well. So you're going to hear his voice as well, and then it'll cut to Sammy the Bull describing.
Shout out Alicia Shanice. Chilly Reacts. One more time.
And let me give him a shout out. His name is Chilly Reacts, and he's on YouTube. But he found the clip, so here it goes. So his voice is over talking as well. So you're going to hear.
Salute to Alicia Shanice. If you guys are on Apple Podcasts, go give her a holler. This is how her name's spelled right here, Alicia Shanice. That's how I say she pronounces it, Alicia Shanice. So it is what it is. Chilly Reacts, bruh. Chilly Reacts. It's a cold world out here. All right, but we're going to go back to Bill. He does try to redeem it earlier. Like, he's working on it, but it's just, and it ain't just him. Those words, they confuse a lot.
Are you ready for this? Yep. All right, Chilly Reacts. Go subscribe to Chilly Reacts. I'm going to leave a link in the description if you guys want to check out this channel.
All right, y'all. Make sure y'all subscribe to Chilly Reacts. Make sure y'all hit Chilly Reacts like button. And you know what I'm saying? Leave a comment, all that good stuff. Share. Chilly Reacts.
Chilly Reacts.
Yeah, Bobby Chilly Reacts.
You see what it says on the bottom of your screen? If you want to need help.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a fucking misprint, man. Here, it's gone.
Even Bobby over there.
If you want.
Take your time, boys.
To help. Bam. If you guys want to help donate towards the toy drive, bam. Right there.
Vernon Rhymes said it is their fault. They can't read on a third grade level. No offense. Man. Felix Reyes having a good laugh.
I got you.
If you want to help. I was like, when you were saying that, I was like, what the fuck is
Chilly Reacts?
I thought it was on your screen. Like, you could see it.
Oh, right.
All right. Here, let me get this going. Shout out to this dude, Chill. This is where I seen.
All right, now we got to Chill. Now that's how Top's World started, with Chill. Now we got to Chill. We're getting closer, and I appreciate it. I appreciate the effort. You know what I'm saying?
information. So make sure you guys go subscribe and check him out.
All right, guys. Now we're going into the inception phase.
She called into the show. It's pretty wild. It's like, holy shit.
You damn right she called into the show.
She called into the show. It's pretty wild. It's like, holy shit.
It's a good day.
Damn.
A little validation for my channel. Hey, who's that guy? That's Chili Reacts right there. Emma had Roberto Tapia perform for her birthday party and release. I believe Chapo had better lawyers, amigo. Salute to Chucky for his comment. Now here's a question. Did the same lawyers that defended him defend her? Because if that's the case, one of his lawyers was one of the twins. Might have been Jay's lawyer too. So they might have had the same lawyers. I don't know. Eduardo Jimenez, Shy Ill, thanks for another great live, bro. Lunchtime is over. Get back to work. Salutes, man. Have a great day at work. Quietly, silently, behind your hand. Just throw up a middle finger to the man while you at work. You know what I'm saying? Just quietly for you. Do it for your esteem, for your, more your morale. You know what I mean? Salute to you, Eduardo Jimenez. Have a great day. But yeah, they might have had the same lawyers, Chucky. They might have had the same lawyers, and I don't know, man. They smashed the Cartel wives over the head. Cartel wives didn't help nobody escape through no tunnel. Cartel wives didn't traffic nothing. They, you know what I'm saying? They was moving money. That's it. Spending money. They weren't even laundering money. They were spending money. What's poppin', y'all? We back at it today. We got Sammy the Bull Gravano. All it took was for me to say my name right there, but I'm so familiar at the fact that y'all are here. We know each other. We good. And y'all be like, shy this, shy that. I don't say nothing, but I got to make it my business to open every video with my name. Facts. Speaking on his time with the Flores twins. If you have yet to subscribe to the channel, please do. Hit the like button and notification bell so we can keep this channel moving forward. Let's get it.
Hey, Sammy, you did time with Flores twins and played chess together. I found out while listening to their podcast, Surviving El Chapo. Love from Boston.
I did time with both of the twins who testified against Chapo. They were twins when they first came in. I'll never forget it. I was sitting in the kitchen at
They were always twins, bro.
table eating with a few guys, and they told us, because there was a lot of law enforcement, they tightened the whole place. They treated them like they were, heavyweights.
And he got jealous, right?
Twins. So I was sitting down eating, and they got online, and their turn came to come up, and I saw them. Boy, oh boy, oh boy, boy. You could not tell the fucking difference. Now, I got to know them, and I got friendly with them. One of them had a tattoo on his neck. I don't think it was P, it was the other one. When I was talking with him, I used to pull his shirt, and I knew which one it was by looking at his tattoo. That's how similar they were. Then they were there for a while, and then they split them up.
Thank you for the donation. I really appreciate that for the toy drive. If anyone else wants to donate, just hit up the Cash App or Venmo, PayPal, Super Stickers, Super Chats, all that good shit.
Yeah, all of that. Whatever he said, we got all of that over here too.
Cash App, it's chatting with Stacks. Let's
call Skinny Joey up.
All right, let's skip their pleasantries.
We're trying. Homeless outreach place around here. Goes back to the
somewhere else. The one I did.
You know what I'm saying? Just to try to give back to the community. You know what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying?
Better. He was sent somewhere else. The one I didn't get along with that good was in the place I was in.
All right. Which one he had beef with? Huh? He messed with one. He don't mess with the other. That sounds like some Sammy the bullshit to say. We also took a little shot at the beginning, like there was some kind of heavyweights or something. Another thing we discussed today during the live Surviving El Chapo stream was oh, why haven't, Sinaloa come after this person, that person? Why ain't nobody come at Sammy yet? Sammy came out of jail, got popped for the ecstasy, went back, all this. He's living his life right now. He don't hide his face. He don't do none of that.
I got into a couple of beefs with him.
I wonder which one it is, though, J or Pete.
And then in the joint, he was like literally almost running the joint. He was, he had all kinds of money, even in prison with commissary, doing all kinds of shit. I'll never forget, my niece came on a visit. I went on a visit.
He said he was almost running the joint because, he had money.
I went on a visit
Sammy's
with
just
my
an old
niece.
hater.
And,
We know it,
he
they
was
know
there
it.
with his wife. She
He
had a
don't know it.
fucking rock on her finger. Diamond canaries. I don't even know how the president let her in like that. So my niece said, look, Uncle Sam, look at that girl's ring. I said, I know. They have a lot of money. And she says, I like to jump over and bite it off. My family's like little gangsters, even the girls. So I said, no, shut up. I know him. He's a friend of mine. Then I had...
You proud of that, Sammy? Fucking family's a bunch of savages.
Yeah.
Bunch of trash bag savages.
Hey, off the subject, this guy Alex writes, if Joey listening, he'll definitely help.
Off the subject? Or no, we get right
Shut
back on the
this
subject when we get off.
He does a lot of stuff for the community.
To be out there in the public eye.
He would do it, right?
July.
Talk bad about him is like all the people that talk about me.
Oh, yeah, motherfucker. Yeah.
How you like my avatar?
Wow.
Fucked her up this time. Oh,
hold on.
Right after he got out. This is welcome to Florida, Barillo. Hey, I didn't put him there.
Let's see.
These are all the cases he caught right before he went.
No, I done passed my time step.
Shit's never ending for this dude. We'll talk when we get off here.
Yeah, we'll talk when we get off here. Here we go. We back at it.
She came in with a Bentley, I think. And everybody's looking.
Bentley, I'm going to say it's Pete's wife. I'm going to say that's Viv. Just because of the 3 Bs. That's what I'm going to call it. Y'all was trying to bite fingers off for rings, huh?
Body, you're flashy. She was a good-looking girl. And I told him, bro, you can't make your wife come in like that. You're sitting down with all crooks and gangsters and shit. They're looking at that.
Don't it sound like the conversation when whoever it was that ended up in Jay's cell, I believe it was Jay's cell, he was from another cartel. He was like, yo, you got your family's picture up, take your picture down. He was like, they're going to look anyway. Sounds like the same kind of conversation. Was.
Lo and behold, a Puerto Rican guy got in touch with his brother, told him to come in, told him what kind of car she had, what she looked like, everything. Matter of fact, the brother saw her on a visit too. So what they were going to do is when she pulled out, they would follow her, crash into her like an accident, right? A little bit. Get out like they're going to show it, and then rob her. Take the rings, take her jewelry, take her money.
That was probably Sammy's fucking plan.
Yeah,
he didn't
absolutely.
have no money, right?
Yeah, see,
Absolutely.
that's the kind of slick shit that Sammy come up with. You
Yep.
know, me, I went to school the whole time I was in the joint, and always trying to learn and putting little business plans together, just trying to do better. And Sammy's, he'll be right there talking about, this score here would be a good score, and he'll never learn.
I'm telling you, and that's why I'll never stop. That's exactly why I will never stop.
I don't get on here and talk about people and get bad, but unless they are bad. Sammy's a piece of shit. I mean, I feel bad saying that, but it's the truth. He's
for some reason I don't feel bad saying that.
Shit.
I don't feel bad at all saying that. Every time I get done with a show, I feel really good about myself. Rest in peace to Alan Kaiser. Fuck Sammy the Bull. Straight up.
There you go.
That's it.
What? It didn't happen.
How you get caught in the plot, bruh? Big old giant plan and you get caught in the plot. Vernon Himes in the chat. School didn't work out for you, Bobby. How you do that?
He got caught in the plot?
What?
He said the dude got caught in the plot. Did he say Sammy?
Yeah, you got caught in the plot. You planned it out. You didn't even get it done, and you got popped off. You know what I'm saying? But I believe it's Sammy's plot anyway. But how you don't even execute and you get caught. How does that work?
You got caught in the plot. He's gonna tell us right now.
He got caught in this plot. It didn't happen. Thank God. But I told him, I said, see, you got to come in here. Let her go rent a fucking Volkswagen or something, a beat up one, an old one to come in. Don't flash in here. You know, and one time I was with my daughter. My daughter, I hope she's listening to this. She was on a visit with me, and he owed me some money. And
he acts like it's a lot of money. Watch this. He acts like it's a lot of money, man. Charles, how are you? Alex, what's good? Donkey reads books. I don't think so. I'll pay him to read Cat in the Hat. 2 pages. He don't read no damn books. The fucker can't even formulate a sentence. He was not a captain in the Banano family. He really gets hurt when you say that, too. So make sure you tell him that in his chat. He was a fake captain.
made him tell his wife to bring down $800. It was for artwork. And
$800?
All this money and commissary, he's talking
$800 for artwork. You believe that shit?
Yeah. No, see, this is what
he believes it because he was there and he knows the scam.
Sammy was the go-between. So, and that's Corn-Fed. Corn-Fed was, and by, I didn't sell my art. I wasn't into that really. But Corn-Fed, he didn't have any money. He's doing, 5 life sentences, never going home. So his hustle was, paint. And so his artwork, because he was very, very good. His artwork would go $200-$300 from painting, So, but he'd give deals. He'd do like 5 paintings for $1,000. So I mean that's a good deal. So this really wasn't that much money.
What about that painting that Sammy said he did for his granddaughter?
Well, he didn't do that.
He didn't do that?
No, that came out of the fairy book.
He swears he did that.
Yeah, well, he's lying. He's lying, and he's lying. He's lying. You notice that now he's coming out with, and it's a joke, but with a certificate saying that he signed it. That's what the certificate is. It's a
because
certificate
he knows that
he's
caught.
Yeah. Yeah, he
certificate of authenticity, right?
Yeah.
Authenticity.
Well, that his signature is, not the painting. Now, what kind of artist draws a little bit on a piece of paper and then mails it to another artist to finish?
I don't know. I've never heard of that.
It don't work like that.
The kind running the scam, that's the one.
So now they may get the painting all the way done.
I don't care about these paintings.
It was for artwork.
Talking about dude had and how he was running the joint. Why he owing you money?
It was for artwork. Bring down $800 and give it to my daughter when they leave the visit. So I told my daughter, who wanted to leave early, I said, no, you can't leave early. When a visit's over, you go in the parking lot.
You can't leave early. We need this $800.
She's going to come. She's going to give you an envelope. It's money for me. She said, they owe me. So stay here until you can collect that.
They owe me.
She says, okay, Doc. She stayed. So he's asking her, they're not that far from us. And he's asking her, did you bring the money? Oh, no, I forgot. And I'm saying, forgot. I made my daughter stay a lot longer than she wanted to stay. And I'm steaming a little bit. And then she turns around, she tells him, why do you have to give these peasants money? My daughter heard peasants. She said, is this card talking about me?
Karen, you would have got your ass whooped.
No, that was Vivian. Vivian's little petite.
Watch what he says. Karen says,
break her face. I grabbed her by her arm. My daughter's a tiger.
Karen said that she would break her face.
Yeah. I'm telling you, Karen's ghetto. I mean, she's You know, it's
I know. I've
she's
seen
got
her
it.
all over the show acting trashy, trying to
Yeah.
defend her rat ass father. I seen that. The whole
Yeah.
world's seen it.
And what's funny is neither one of them like each other for real. You know, they got some issues with one another, but they're putting on a front, you know, to try to make a dollar.
Hey, ride that gangster rat card all the way to the bank,
Karen
right?
and her father don't
I ain't
like
parading
each
my
other.
family in front of nobody for no
No,
reason.
man. They don't care. They'll exploit shit and take
Yep.
advantage of every opportunity they can, even while they're in prison. So you're in prison, right? And he's talking about, oh, they were gonna bump into him. Don't involve your family. Now you got your family involved with some bullshit again, and you're in prison.
Yeah.
You got your
Yeah,
family going to meet these people to get money from them. Who's
Right.
to say someone's not gonna rob them while your family's going to meet them to get the money?
Yeah, he don't care.
He doesn't care, man.
Yeah,
He doesn't
he's a
give a
dirtbag.
shit about his family.
He's a
Listen,
dirtbag.
He's a dirtbag. That's all I can say is he's just a dirtbag. You know, he tells all these fucking stories, and I was with a lot of guys, and none of them like Sammy at all. None of them. You know, and it wasn't because he ratted. You know, just as a person before he ratted, they would tell me he's just a dirtbag. And then Vic wouldn't even meet with him. He's just, you know, if you don't have a fucking penny's worth of class in your
Yeah, I don't care.
Say my name, Stacks. Shit. Took it to the attorney.
some conversations, they need to get the hell out of Mexico. And their nickels when they
Here
turn
we
themselves.
go.
That's crazy, man. Took it to the attorney's office and he called the feds, and the feds wouldn't take the money. What? That's crazy. It's bullshit. They said collected money.
The money.
Yeah,
Femi Fatale, how are you? Say my name, Stacks. That's news. That's news story is bullshit. They said collected money that was owed to their husbands. Took it to the attorney's office and he called the feds, and the feds wouldn't take the money. What? That's crazy, man.
See, the thing is when they turn themselves in, because they got a call when they were in Mexico from the feds in the U.S. saying that the heat was on. You know, their names came up in some conversations. They need to get the hell out of Mexico.
Yeah, is that what happened? I don't think that's what happened. I don't think they got a call in Mexico that said, hey, the heat is on, you got to get out of there. No, I don't think so. I think they saw the writing on the wall and they made the call. Nobody was looking for them. Nobody was asking for them. Nobody was warning them that I can remember. If I'm wrong, y'all let me know.
Cool. And so names came up from the feds in the U.S. saying that because they got a call when they were in Mexico from the feds in the U.S. saying that the heat was on. You know, their names came up in some conversations. They need to get the hell out of Mexico. And so they were just in the middle of going and meet somebody for money to pick up money for a load that they shipped out. So they went ahead and picked up that cash from that load before they left, and then they left.
Yeah.
But so they
wasn't it the DC load? Wasn't it the DC money that was the whole controversy? I don't know.
Their plea negotiation was they had to turn over X amount of dollars. You know what they claimed that they had. So,
but they had a lot more on top of that because they were shipping in all kinds of drugs. So they had mountains of cash, right?
Yeah, they were. Listen, they used to play, you know, those computer games where you could play like people from across the country, or you know, at the same time, like the Sniper or whatever it is. You know what I'm talking about?
I don't play games, man.
What's those games?
Bill don't play games,
PlayStation
yo.
or whatever.
PlayStation, yeah.
Yeah, they'd be on with little microphones on their face and shooting each other, you know. But they would.
So the twins was Call of Duty guys
in prison.
No, this is on the street. They was telling me about. They would bet guys,
telling you about
other drug cartel members, you know, in a different city or something.
And now here's the thing. Again, he just said, "Oh, you know, they got a call. The heat was on." this isn't just Bobby that this happens. This is each and every one of us. Most people in the world walk around having conversations and they say, hey, you know what? Did you hear about this? And they start telling a story and they tell it 7 different ways from sideways. You know what I'm saying? And it's wrong. And sometimes those stories create implications on people that you can't take back because you didn't open your mouth in the middle of a conversation that meant nothing and said something that was wrong. And now that wrong thing that was said reverberates through history. That's just a fact. It happens all the time. Happens all the time.
They compete, on these games for $100,000,
But I believe
$200,000 a game.
I believe the Twins was
That's crazy.
betting hundreds
I
of
can
stacks on
imagine.
Call of Duty games.
Let's check out the rest of this video.
Again, I appreciate Bill for reviewing the video, for trying as hard as he did to get my name right. I appreciate it.
I don't believe anything this guy says, man.
Link me next
That
time,
sounds
brother.
like some bullshit to me.
Drop the
Seems
link
a
down
little
there
out of
in
character.
the description.
You ain't never heard nothing
Like
like
right
that.
around
Ain't
where yours
nobody-
is at in mine.
They like to spend money. We heard that, but not one person, not Charlie Webster, not 50, not in any of these.
We got a question, Bobby.
What's that?
May I ask who your guest is?
May I?
Who are you, Bobby? They're asking
well,
who you are.
No, I'm not with the same family as Sammy. I'm not with any family.
No?
No.
You weren't with the Gambinos? Yeah.
No, they put it in. Yeah, it was the best, is what it is.
No, I don't.
I don't know
Yeah,
what.
like, Chapo.
And at no point have we heard that they were elitist like that, like calling people peasants. That sounds like a Sammy the Bull story, right?
Yeah, and I don't see, and I don't see.
That's funny.
Jay or Pedro allowing anyone to say that. They wouldn't say that shit.
If you guys want to check out this interview, go subscribe to this dude's YouTube channel. Chill, I guess the name is.
Chill. He's trying. He's trying it. It came a long way from Chile. He's trying.
Trump crime
Grabbed
family.
her by the arm. My
Trump Crime Family, man. That's one of the channels I got going. I'll explain later.
daughter's a tiger. I said, sit the down.
Come on.
We're in a visiting room with guards and everything. You hit this fucking girl. I'm going to hit him. There'll be a revolution in this room. You'll never come back on a visit, and I'm going to be in the hole. Stop it. So what? Whatever she called us, don't worry about it. She's a jerk off.
She's a jerk off.
My daughter sat down, but she was biting on her lip. She was growling. She wanted to get at this woman. Then I told him on the inside, I said, bro, I tell your wife, bro, I'm no fucking peasant. My daughter's not a peasant. We're not peasants. You're a fucking peasant. You just got money because you're a drug dealer. But to me, you're a fucking peasant. You and your fucking scumbag wife.
So what was he? What was Sammy when he was in prison? What was
Sammy
he there
was
for? Selling drugs.
Yeah, Sammy was a peasant. Sammy's got no class.
Sammy was an ecstasy dealer.
Yeah.
So he did a show and he says, "Oh, I got caught in some bullshit ecstasy case, just some bullshit case they put on me." He's like, "Ecstasy's not even a drug, it's just a party drug." Like, do you even know what you're fucking talking about, Sammy? I swear this dude's losing his mind. No, this isn't the one where he calls in. We'll go over that one another time.
But why you got money though? How you get money? Extortion, murder. The
Ecstasy.
criminal ego, the criminal hierarchy. It's a character thing, you know what I'm saying? Shit, police got it, gangsters. But the ego's a crazy thing. But that sounds like he didn't like one of them dudes. Sounds like
He didn't like either
always
one
had
of
some
them.
slick shit to say, and I ain't never heard.
He didn't. He didn't like
No,
either one.
He didn't like either one. He was just trying to get money out of him. Try to use his name and notoriety to gain, financial gain from him.
Leech.
Yeah, he's a piece of shit.
I believe
That
it.
guy's right. A lot of these guys, I mean, a lot of
Well,
guys,
thank you, Bobby. You said that guy's right. All right.
I was around, they had egos that were, I mean, just huge egos.
Yeah,
And
trust me, I deal with a lot of them, man. I deal with a lot of organized crime members.
I'm sure
people
you
who
do,
are involved
Bill.
with that
I
life,
bet.
and they all.
Listen, if he's interviewing a bunch of mob guys, I'm sure there's a lot of Sammys in there, a lot of giant egos that Bill Stacks is dealing with on his show. I'm gonna be watching. I'm gonna be watching more often from now on. So
got egos.
Yeah, it's terrible. Oh, excuse me. Yeah, it's terrible. But I mean, I'll tell you what though. Most of the guys I've been around, and I've been around a lot of them, they're mostly good people. You can't put their face to the crime that they're in for.
A lot of the times they just get caught up in some shit, and the newspaper and the media will spin things and make them seem like these monsters, and
right,
and that's totally false.
Exactly, just the same in my case. I mean, listen, Vic Abuso was my friend. He is my friend, and that's the bottom line. There's none of listen. Vic didn't talk to the wall.
All right,
we just did our time. But
yeah, you're in prison for years.
Then you got these pieces of shit that can't leave an old man alone. I mean, the guy, he's got grandchildren.
And they're trying to. You get enough views, you fucking turd. Shit, trying to manipulate the situation so they can get ahead of the finish line. Trying to some original shit. I think people are getting mad because I have some original shit.
Somebody in his chat
and they're trying to manipulate the situation so they can get ahead of the finish line. Shit, don't you get enough views? You fucking turd.
Who wants news?
Right, that's the thing. Even the news is bullshit. I haven't watched the news in years. Why? Because I know it's bullshit. Who wants the news? People just want the story. People just want the story.
Huh? You dropping some exclusive news?
I've got some.
Who wants the news?
I've got quite a bit.
Nobody wants the news. Is the news a story? Is the news somewhat truth with a little bit added on the end of it or added at the beginning of it? None of that's real. So what I'm going to watch the news for? When you see those compilations of all these news channels and they're all saying the same scripted line over and over and over and over, it's no coincidence, y'all.
What would you like to hear?
One of the wives, not even Val, who's been in the middle of all kind of shit, have I heard one time anybody say she was on some elitist shit. Like she knew what she was, but she wasn't gonna tell you what you were, that I've heard of so far. You know what I'm saying? So I'm calling bullshit. That sounds like some I need a story to tell and this guy anyway.
All you's got is money because of drugs, but you's a peasants, bro.
Do you think that he really said that?
And that argument stopped. So I did time with them. I'm very friendly with the other one, not the guy P, the other one. And even P, I mean, he set me up for a fall to get moved. I did 8 months in the hole because of him.
See, there's underlying beefs right there. You know what I'm saying? Overlying, underlying, all of the above. So you got to take everything with a grain of salt. Everything they say, everything he says, everything everybody says.
Facts.
Phony.
Hey, who's this?
They said that I was in touch with
you.
Huh? This guy's R-A-R-A.
He's back in the chat. Salute to everybody in the chat. Please hit the like button. Hit the like button. Hit the like button.
Talking about chicken.
And I reached out to people to kill him, his brother, their wives, and their children. Chapo. And I reached out to people to kill him, his brother, their wives, and their children. And the government came down on me like a fucking hammer. I was 8 months in the fucking hole. And finally, some of them admitted that it was a fucking fake. Because as soon as he made that fake, they locked me down and they moved him to where he wanted to go, which was closer to his wife.
What about him? What about him?
What, Springfield? I don't know that guy. Yeah, I agree with this guy.
From everyone.
Damn, Bobby, you agree with me again,
Yeah.
bro? Appreciate it.
I agree with this guy
Hold on, I want to hear what
Away
Bill
from
asked
every-
him.
out of Philly.
You notice? I stay away from everyone, man.
Me too.
Shout out to everyone doing their thing, but I stay far away from everyone.
I agree with this guy, Val and Vivian.
Yeah.
You know, and I mean, I spoke to them, you know, on several occasions, and I don't see that type of remark coming out of their mouths. You know?
He used to drop slips on, didn't he? Drop slips on people to get them.
Oh yeah,
moved?
he dropped slips on people in a heartbeat.
Did he drop
Yeah.
slips on the Torres twins? Any of them?
The
I
Torres
don't know.
twins.
I don't know. As long as they
I'm
were giving him
going to
money,
be high.
no, he wasn't. You know.
So were you there when all this shit happened? When
No.
they locked Sammy up, brought him to the hole? Were
No.
you?
No, I was already gone.
Did you leave first, or he left? Right?
I left
You
first.
left first.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sammy and Dummy Dom are delusional. 100% they are.
He said Sammy and Dummy Dumb and delusional. Also in the chat said Sammy's a whole clown. For all the BS he be talking. Sammy be saying whatever he gonna say. But in every hood, there's that dude. That dude that's just never gonna do it. He never gonna switch up his style. He just can't get right. He scammed at 15. He scammed at 10 years old, 15 years old, 25 years old, 35 years old, 65 years old. He's just going to scam forever. He's who he is. There's no growth. There's nothing that's going to change. And he got the benefit of people want to talk to him. You think he's not squeezing DJ Vlad and everybody for money for these interviews and stuff like that? Of course he is. He's just going to get his. Salutes to him. But he's going to make up whatever story he can make. But he's not unique. There's 20 of those dudes in every hood, in every group of friends. 20 of those dudes. It's definitely not unique.
Yeah.
That's all it was about.
So all they needed was the allegation.
That's all they needed. Matter of
And then they took it back and said it was a lie and there was no consequence. They didn't move him back to where he was supposed to be.
Yeah, like all that bullshit. So if he lied about all that and they found out, he'd be in trouble, man. He'd be facing consequences.
Listen, the government had a hard fight to fight here because they can't do anything bad to Sammy because they'd get out into the press, and he's their poster boy. And they can't do nothing for the Flores brothers because, you know, they're bringing down the biggest drug cartel, you know, in the world. So, you know, they're in a bind. So they just figured, you know what, he wants to go to wherever. I don't know where he went, you know, but, you know, if he wants
They
to go
sent him
closer
to,
his
didn't
Arizona?
they send him to ADX after? They sent him to a high max.
Who, Sammy? No.
Yeah, he said he
Sammy
was
got
running
out.
ADX, remember? Don't you remember when Sammy said he was in ADX running shit and talking to people?
That was
through the
before
fence?
that was before he came into the program. Because remember I told you he quit the program when he got out? And so when he got that Escasy case, he was in ADX too. That's where they shipped him to.
Hold on. Draw
No, we can
an
skip
alleged
this.
soon name or
He wasn't in the program. A year after he got out. And the reason they don't hit Sammy is because Sammy's a pimp.
Here we go. We had this question too where we was like, somebody asked me why Sinaloa hasn't touched the twins, and I said, why ain't nobody touched Sammy? You know, Sammy, why? Who wants to take that on?
At all.
For what?
when did he leave the program?
Like a year after he got out.
I'm gonna check, man.
And the reason they don't hit Sammy is because Sammy's a pimple on the guy's ass. That's why they don't hit him. I mean,
Gotti's
they hit him-
dead. Like,
You know, hit him for what? For telling on Gotti?
Felix Reyes in the chat, he said hit him for what? Telling on Gotti? Exactly. That's my point. Like, nobody really cares no more. They're not going to waste the manpower on dude. Why? Because that ain't even a hierarchy anymore. Like, it don't hold any don't hold no weight anymore. Felix Reyes in the chat said, why would one of the twins do that if they rather have been together? So, Felix, by this time, the twins were separated. After the Bentley billboards and babies situation, they got separated. So by this time, whatever twin he was beefing with was still there with him, with Sammy, but the other brother Jay was not there with them. All right, so it was only one brother. But again, why would one of the twins, right, do that if his wife lives in the state that he's in? So he gets a transfer, so that now his wife got to go across the country to wherever they end up. It just doesn't sound right. It never sounded right. But again, Sammy got a history of just running his mouth. But the twins were separated by this point. And once the twins were separated for the first time, man, they were separated for a long time, till just about till they got out. I mean, yeah, just about till they got out. That was a lot of years. So salute.
I mean, who wants them kind of problems? Now, if he showed up and walked the streets of Brooklyn or Benson or something, yeah, they'd probably chop.
So he said it right there. Who wants to go get?
I mean, Gotti's dead.
Pimple on the guy's ass. That's why they don't hit him. I mean,
Gotti's dead. Like,
you know, hit him for what? For telling on Gotti? I mean, who wants them kind of problems? Now, if he showed up and walked the streets of Brooklyn or Benson or something, yeah, they'd probably chop his head off. But they're not going to send guys out there just to, you know, to whack Sammy. You know, I mean, it just, you know, there's no sense. It's not profitable for anybody. So he's not that important, you know. Now, I think the Flores brothers, I think that they'd have some issues.
No, 100%.
But I think Sammy, I mean, as long as he's not in New York, he won't have no problems.
It doesn't say.
Sammy is heat, and he ain't worth. I wouldn't give him it was $10 million. He ain't worth the problems.
All right,
He'll cause dissent. He'll cause dissent and problems with your whole group, and yeah, he's.
Hey, just
all right, he left after falling in love and being exposed.
Yes,
he fell in love with a woman and he was exposed.
Yes. Yep, in that town he was living in.
Despite the risk, Sammy and a producer for NBC managed to leave the Indian reservation they were on to buy cigars, showing the potential loopholes in the witness protection program. Sammy the Bull Gravano was convinced to enter the witness protection program by the government. So he didn't have to be in the program, right?
No, he didn't have to be. They didn't convince him shit. He went in the program immediately.
It said that he was told that they would embarrass them if he didn't, despite his initial reluctance. Sammy the Bull refused to start over in the witness protection program after falling in love and being exposed. I'm not starting all over. I'm leaving. I'm going to go back to Arizona with my family. That was it.
Yeah. Yeah, he's
crazy, man.
He's full of shit. All right, let's wrap this up, man.
I
missed something though.
I worked all day. I fucking fell asleep. Now I gotta.
Let me see.
Stop your lies.
This guy brings this up. This is true.
Okay, here we go.
Hey, look.
Stop your lies.
Somebody brought something up in the chat.
Because he
got the 3 Bs.
Pregnant.
This guy brings this up. This is true.
Of a private visiting room.
No, listen. It was our visit. It was the visiting room. Took her in the bathroom, right, and had sex with her. That's all, you know, and got her pregnant. That was Jay.
Wrong. It was Pete.
What the fuck?
That was
this.
Or no, that was
so
Pedro.
whoever,
I'm sorry.
whoever this guy's Jack is, he knows what he's talking about.
Yeah, and then the billboard, that was me. I bought the billboard for him.
Here we go. Bobby says he bought the billboard for him.
Yeah.
Well, you bought the billboard for him?
Yeah, I bought the billboard for him. Yeah.
What did the billboard say?
He wanted to do something special for his wife. So I said, well, you know, I can get you probably a billboard. You know, let me call this guy. And so a guy knew, you know, it was his line of work. And it said something like some crazy shit. It had giant hearts on it and flowers and, you know, I love you, you know. Yeah. So that was.
Here's my question about the billboards. He's talking about it like it was one single billboard. I'm under the impression it was more than one billboard. So I'm kind of like, Bobby, are you really the guy? Because I thought he got more than one billboard, and he really saying it finite. He's like, I'm the one that got the billboard. I got it. I could get one. You know what I'm saying? It only said this. Well, my understanding, it was more than one billboard, down the highway. Vernon Himes, and it wasn't the visiting room. Are you sure, Vernon Himes? I thought it was the visiting room. The visiting room bathroom, I believe is what it was. You tell me if I'm wrong. And then trust me, I'll go find it later and bring it to your attention. Salutes to Vic in the chat. What's good, Shy? We in here, dog. We in here, and we only halfway there. We still got a whole episode of Finnegan's Take to do. So I appreciate you being here. If anybody catching the playback, salute to you. If you're in the house, please wipe your feet and wipe your shoes and hit the like button. But Bobby, are you telling the truth, Bobby? Did you get the billboard? But I'm under the impression it was more than one billboard, and you sound like you talking about one billboard.
That's why I got transferred hours and I said, well,
one more time.
You bought the billboard for him?
Yeah, I bought the billboard for him. Yeah.
What did the billboard say?
He wanted to do something.
Oh no, Vernon Himes, no, that one you definitely wrong. It was a visiting room. It was most definitely the visiting room. Ruben Contreras in the chat. I'm late. Who are these guys? Ruben Contreras, you're never late because we got to play back. You're always on time. These guys were doing a reaction to our reaction to the Sammy the Bull joint. And we were doing a reaction to their reaction of our reaction and setting the record straight on a couple of things. So salute to them. Salute to you if you want to check out their channel. The subscription's in the description. The link is in the description for the video and for Bill Stacks' channel, chatting with Stacks. And they're telling Jailhouse Flores twins Sammy the Bull stories. And we're breaking it down.
Wife, so I said,
so was it one billboard or was it more than one billboard? Salutes to Vernon Himes. Don't worry, bro. No need for apologies. The story is so crazy and there's so many dips and valleys and caves in this story that I don't expect everybody to keep it together. That's why I'm not holding it against Stacks and Bobby, whatever they got wrong. But the only reason I say is that I'm here, I'm on record on this channel, so I got to be aware of what I'm saying and make sure I'm saying the right things and not saying something that could get somebody that had nothing to do with nothing in some trouble that they didn't need to be in. That's it. So I get it. The story got a lot of wrinkles in it. Hard to keep it all together.
Yeah.
Well, you bought the billboard for him?
Yeah, I bought the billboard for him, yeah.
See, they're not saying billboards.
That was me.
No S. They're saying the billboard.
That was
singular.
That's all, and he got her pregnant. That was took her in the bathroom.
That's just how he told the story, too.
The brother got transported because he got his wife pregnant.
This guy brings this up. This is true.
Of a private visiting room?
No, listen, it was our visit. It was the visiting room. Took her in the bathroom, right, and had sex with her. That's all, and he got her pregnant. That was Jay.
What the fuck?
That was
Pedro.
I'm sorry.
Whoever this guy Jack is, he knows what he's talking about.
Yeah, and then the billboard, that was me. I bought the billboard for him. Yeah.
Well, you bought the billboard for him?
Yeah, I bought the billboard for him, yeah.
What did the billboard say?
He wanted to do something special for his wife, so I said, well, I can get you probably a billboard.
A billboard.
Let me call this guy.
I'm under the impression there was more than one billboard.
Line of work, and it said some crazy shit. Giant hearts on it and flowers and I love you. Yeah. So that was a good. That's why I got transferred out of there. I got Sammy the Bull. I'm not going to say that he did it, but I swear, as soon as they told me, gave me my shot, for that, and it mentioned billboard, I'm thinking, man, Sammy opened his fucking mouth, dropped a note on me.
Probably.
Hopeless
Yeah,
romantic.
I
It's
think he
got
probably
everybody
did, but I
getting
can't
shipped
prove
off.
it. So
Well, I appreciate everyone that watches this show, and make sure you guys so you could get my videos every time they drop. And if you don't like Bobby, thanks, man.
oh, no problem, pal.
All right, that's it
You
for
and
that one.
Stacks, and seeing you soon. And remember,
So that's I don't know. We're gonna see about these billboards. We're gonna find out about these billboards. Again, salute to Bill and Bobby. Bill Stacks and Bobby at the Chatting with Stacks show. Salutes to them. Let's give
Hi, this is Joey Merlino. This is my
throw this up
Instagram.
here
I
so
know
you
there's
can
a
see their channel.
ton of Instagrams and social
we
media.
use their I take this is something that
Or
I
fake
learned
accounts
from the
saying
homie
they're
Zaya
me.
X. Is somebody use your or you use somebody's stuff, boom, I'll go hit the subscribe for them, go back to the video, and hit the like button. Make sure we do those things. Salute Zaya X for the good habits, for the friendly habits. All right. I'm hoping we set a trend and people, reciprocate. But this is his channel. You guys want to go check him out? Go check him out. Chatting with Stacks show. Yeah, ran into that last night. Couldn't wait. I even wanted to put out a notification in the middle of the night, but I didn't want to wake everybody up. Again, my name is Sha Il. People will get it with a little bit of time. I will no longer be chill. I'll be Sha Il. Salute to Alicia Shanice with her
the series.
Let's see if we can get her version one more time.
The twins, and he reacted to it, so we'll play that. So shout out to him, but Jay as well. And I was searching for a clip because Sammy the Bull is always talking and telling stories, and I was able to find one, but it is another guy reviewing it, so we hear his voice as well. So shout out to him. So we're gonna use his clip, fair use of course, but he seems like he has a very dope YouTube channel. But he did find a clip with Sammy the Bull talking about the twins, and he reacted to it, so we'll play that.
Bell so we can keep
His name is Chili Reacts.
Chili Reacts. Chili Reacts. You would think they're busting my balls, but nope. It's very serious. Vernon Heim said they might have put it in his name, but I don't think he bought shit. Yeah, absolutely. It seems like he just facilitated the situation. They needed they wanted a billboard, and he facilitated the situation. The question is he telling the truth? Because if you're telling me a story, and I've heard the story, and in the story, the horse's mouth says there was multiple billboards, and then the guy that says he's the horse's mouth says there was one billboard, or maybe I'm just looking too deep into it and I'm being too detailed. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. Judge me. Don't matter. But again, salutes to Bobby and Stacks for having the conversation. It was a good podcast. I thoroughly enjoyed it last night. I thoroughly enjoyed it today. We just here to figure out the truth. That's it. That's all. You know what I mean? All right. So now, I appreciate y'all being here. Salutes to everybody that's here. Now we're going to move into the Finnegan's Take portion of the show. That was the first one. That'll be its own video when I drop... when I edit it. That'll be its own video, us reacting to that. Again, it was, Inception. We was 3 dreams deep right there, man. It was me reacting to Sammy the Bull, somebody reacting to me reacting to Sammy the Bull, then me reacting to somebody reacting to me reacting to Sammy the Bull. So the shit was crazy. All right? Shit was crazy. Now, hold on one second. I need an image that I need to put up in here. Do it up here. I'm gonna go here. I need an image. Call it what you're gonna call it. Let's go here. And here it goes. Boom. Boom. And I can take this and bring it down here. Appreciate y'all being here. Thank you guys for being here. Make sure you hit the like button. All right, let me cut the screen here and let this image ride. Boom. And let's move right into Finnegan's Take. I'm glad people are picking up on what we're doing and they're doing reactions to what we're doing themselves. I appreciate that. It's a good look. And that's it. We're good. Cut that out. Cut that off. And we on and we popping. Finnegan's Take, y'all. Finnegan's Take. Vernon Heim said 2 of them, I think. I said, yeah, in the least. Vernon, in the least. 2, maybe even 3. Vernon Heim said, no, you're right. They said one going one way down the road and another one going the other way from the prison. That part I don't remember, but you're watching it fresh, so I believe you, except for the bathroom part. That's it. On that point, I'm going to stick to my guns. But here we go. Finnegan's Take, man. Finnegan's Take. We're going to see what Jerome Finnegan's talking about. This first episode is called The Formative Years. I do not know what kind of formative years he had. I don't know how he grew up. We're about to find out. I don't really care because no matter how bad it is or good it is, you can't, I don't believe you could blame it, because how many dudes could blame their actions on their childhood, and when Jerome Finnegan had them in handcuffs, he didn't really care about their formative years. He didn't really care about how they came up. So I don't really care too much what sent him down the path he went down. It is what it is. Here's a synopsis. Our first conversation details Jerry's youth and the influences that began his trajectory towards becoming a Chicago cop. All right, maybe we're going to get smashed for some music that's in here. I don't know. That would be very, very sad story. But I will fix it in the edit. Music, Refraction 3, the album, Lux, Refractions. Let's hope we don't get smashed with a copyright. And I'm thinking and I'm hoping that when the twins do this BET series, that I don't get smashed on copyrights covering that on YouTube. That's going to suck. That's going to suck. But if I could rescue this Narco Wars that got copyright struck the other day, if I could rescue that and figure that out, I'll figure out the BET show. All right, y'all, here we go. Episode 1, Finnegan's Take. I'm excited. Thank you guys for being with me. Thank you guys for coming on this journey with me. It's been about a year since I started really working on this channel, and I appreciate everybody that's here. I'm hoping to us being 5, 6, 7, 10 times from where we at right now by the time next year comes around. All right, I appreciate y'all. Thank y'all very much. Here we go. Finnegan's Take, Episode 1.
They said we were going out there and robbing innocent people. That's a fucking lie. That is a farce. That was the biggest joke I've ever heard. I never stole money from anybody who was a decent working person. Never. These guys were all fucking gangbangers, all dope dealers. Does it make it right? No. But they try to embellish on it and say, oh, this rogue group of officers, they were stealing from innocent people. Really? Who the fuck were the innocent people? Every one of those people were tied up in narcotics, or they were gangbangers. One article said that we raided an old woman's birthday party, a grandmother's birthday party. Oh, yeah, it was a grandmother's birthday party, but it was being run by her grandchildren. They were all 2-6 gangbangers, and we fucking recovered a shitload of guns and dope out of that house that night. So, yeah, okay, it was grandmother's birthday party, but oh well. It wasn't some fucking innocent lady fucking having a party with her 60 or 70 friends that were in their 80s and 90s. A bunch of fucking thug gangbangers were there with long guns. We found semi-automatic rifles in the house, a bunch of dope, and we fought with those fuckers. Everybody went to jail, including grandmother. And everybody went to jail that night except for the dog, because everybody was fighting with us, jumping on us, biting us. So, oh well.
All right. So let's talk about cops and the things that they do, right? Let's just say there's a party at Mr. Jerome Finnegan's house, right? And y'all are all sitting around with your weapons and your bad attitudes, and there's 2 or 3 of y'all huddled up in the bathroom, maybe tooting some blow, and one of them smoking a joint in the back. And these little quiet illegal activities, aside from stealing and extortion and murder for hire that y'all do, they're doing these little crimes and you're just letting it slide. Your party is the same as grandma's party, just loaded with criminals and drugs and people doing the wrong shit, right? That's why I don't buy. You can't sell me you're the good guy, you're the bad guy. You're the same thing, bro. The same thing, exact same thing. Chucky Chingon, they were jackers. Call it what it is. The dealers couldn't go back to the cops to complain. Exactly, that's it. That's exactly what I'm saying. You guys are the same thing. You jackers, you thieves with backup. You thieves with a ringer. You cheating. You know what I'm saying? But you thieves nonetheless, man. You street trash. You garbage. You know what I'm saying? Same thing.
Welcome to Finnegan's Take. This is the life story of Jerry Finnegan, a Chicago police officer who had a monumental fall from grace.
Vernon Himes said, "Grandma's innocent. Free grandma." Free grandma. That's going to be a t-shirt. I'm going to sell that t-shirt. Free grandma.
And became the poster boy for police corruption in the early 2000s. In a city that does police depravity better than most, Jerry's story stands above them all because he was not your average cop. Jerry was a great cop. He was real police, as it's called in Chicago parlance.
I've told you before, when you hear that he was real police, that means he whoop ass, he break laws, he covers things up. That's what that means when you hear real police.
Jerry got illegal guns, drugs, and criminals off the street. And he did so at a prodigious rate, earning awards and accolades during his transcendence. Jerry navigated from inside the now defunct Special Operations Section, or SOS, a squad that maneuvered freely within the borders of the city.
SOS gang, just so y'all know. It's just a gang, no different than GDs, BDs, VLs, Kings, Cobras, Ds, same thing, CPD, ganga.
To combat gang crimes. The top brass of the Chicago Police Department loved SOS.
Bet he did.
Not only because the unit was effective, but because it made them look good to the bosses, the aldermen, and the mayor. Jerry's street smarts are considered by all I spoke with to be legendary. He had a sixth sense about crime and was fearless in his pursuit of stopping the bad guys. But this is no story of glory. It's a cautionary tale, chock full of conflict, and infused with the ever-present Chicago political machine. See, Jerry got greedy, cocky, out of control. Home invasions, theft, and a murder-for-hire plot placed Jerry and SOS under the eye of the state's attorney's office and the FBI.
Of course it did.
These series of conversations will be an unvarnished look inside the Chicago Police Department, but more importantly, it's the unvarnished look into Jerry Finnegan's soul. We cover everything. There's no dodging topics. Police brutality, gang crimes, machine politics, and all that Jerry encountered is laid to bear. And as you'll hear, Jerry has regrets. A lot of them.
Nobody cares.
But he also wants to set the record straight. We start at Jerry's youth and end after his release from prison. Along the way, we cover the mysterious deaths of two of his brothers. Both deaths involve the Byzantine corruption of the Chicago Police Department. A few technical notes before we start. These recordings began in the spring of 2022. We stopped and picked back up in the spring of 2023. These conversations were recorded with me calling Jerry, so sometimes the quality is dodgy. But bear with us as it gets better in successive conversations. And one last note. If you hate the police, love the police, hate Chicago, love Chicago, you're going to be offended. My intent was to pull no punches, leave no stone unturned, and censor nothing. The language and stories are colorful, brutal, and not for children's ears. Thanks for listening, and I hope this conversation is enjoyable. But
babies to sleep, y'all.
Enlightening. Jerry's story is how idealism and ambition melt in the cauldron of urban violence. and then boil into self-destruction and corruption. So let's begin at the start of Jerry Finnegan's life.
It's that time of year when it's easy to forget the little things. Don't let your next oil change be one of them. Help keep your car humming along.
In San Diego and in the
Pennzoil Products.
My father, although I never met him, my dad, take it from him.
Or make an appointment online today.
My mom and dad had 12 children. I was number 10 of 12. My mom lost twins, so she would have had 14, and came from 16, and my dad came from a family of 9. All my brothers and sisters were named after either my mom's brothers or sisters or my father's brothers or sisters.
How creative.
Except for me. I was named Jerome after a guy who my dad was in World War II with, in the Navy in San Diego and in the Pacific. He was my godfather, although I never met him. My dad.
Lead Auto Care. Call or make an appointment online today.
My bad.
My mom and
I was going to say he was named Jerome after his real father. You know what I'm saying? But that would just be me being mean and picking on him. So I'm going to hold that one till later. And I'm going to just take him being Jerome from the World War II guy, you know, as truth. Here we go. He was number 10 of 12 kids. Would have been 14. All from one man?
Dad had 12 children. I was number 10 of 12. My mom lost twins, so she would have had 14, and came from 16, and my dad came from a family of 9. All my brothers and sisters were named after either my mom's brothers or sisters or my father's brothers or sisters. Except for me. I was named Jerome after a guy who my dad was in World War II with, in the Navy in San Diego and in the Pacific. He was my godfather, although I never met him. My dad, take it from him, he said he was a great guy, so that's who he named me after. My mom's mother and father immigrated from Greece. They initially settled in Gary, Indiana, had a big Greek community. They relocated there, eventually moved to Chicago when Gary started to change and it wasn't conducive for them to live there anymore. It wasn't a safe area. So they moved into Chicago, and my grandfather worked for the railroad, and my grandmother opened up a coffee shop, kind of like a coffee shop, kind of made sandwiches and breakfast for people. My grandfather actually pretty much worked up till almost 70 years old, doing hard work like that on the railroad.
Were your father's parents immigrants?
Yes, they came from Ireland. His mother was originally from Scotland. My father, mom and dad, my grandparents met and immigrated to the United States where they had a family. And it's interesting. My father's dad was a member of the Irish Republican Army and fled from that lifestyle and came to America.
IRA guy.
More than likely either prison or death. He fled Ireland, came to the United States, went into coal mining south of Chicago, but eventually took his life, that black lung disease. My grandfather moved to Chicago to get away from the coal mine eventually, and they came up. My grandfather was doing various labor jobs. My dad ended up going in the Navy at a relatively young age, probably 23, I believe he was. But he met my mom through one of her brothers. He was friends with my uncle, my mom's brother, Jim. My mom was Greek Orthodox. My dad was Catholic. But that didn't make a difference to my Uncle Jim because hung out with his buddies and drank together. My grandfather and my grandmother did not like my father because he was Irish and he was Catholic. My grandfather in Greece, my mother's father was it's called an Evzone, which is...
It's like we're so stupid. It's like we can't stop arguing that racism and that race, but then we go from race to religion and from religion to what kind of chips you like, and humans are just flawed and just falling apart from the color. Think about that. One of the things that we are blessed with, the most amazing thing, something you can't explain. Explain the color blue to me. You just can't. You can tell me what it's made of, but you can't explain it. This is what we're hung up on, color. And then if it's not color, it's which person you decided to worship. And then if it ain't that, it's what you like to eat, what you choose. You know, what kind of car you drive, Chevy or Ford. It's like, humans are just lame.
The Greek palace guard, and when he came to the United States, he kept that sword that he had as a Greek soldier. And he chased my dad down the stairs with it when my mom introduced him for the first time. My mom and dad dated behind her parents' back. And then
there's people getting chased with swords in his household.
That didn't make
still no excuse to be a horrible cop.
Hung out with his buddies and drank together. My grandfather and my grandmother did not like my father because he was Irish and he was Catholic. My grandfather in Greece, my mother's father was it's called an Evzone, which is a Greek palace guard. And when he came to the United States, he kept that sword that he had as a Greek soldier. And he chased my dad down the stairs with it when my mom introduced him for the first time. My mom and dad dated behind her parents' back, and then they got married. And she went off to California to be with him because he was stationed out there during the war before he was sent into the Pacific. They didn't speak to her because she married against their will until they had my brother Bill, my oldest brother, their first child. And then my grandmother kind of gave in, and then my grandfather came around eventually.
What was your father's rank, and where did he specifically see action?
He was on a destroyer called the Taylor, so he saw some action in the Pacific. In addition to that, he attained the rank of Chief Bolson Mate, it was called. When you see the war movies and they whistle, they pipe people aboard the ship, like an officer approaches the ship from a small craft and he comes up and the gangway, they blow that whistle and make that noise. This big tune means something in the Navy. And that's what he did. That was his job. He was also, after the destroyer, he was on a ship tender, it was called. He was in the Navy for 9 years. My dad would always say, like every other guy that I met, every vet, or kind of said what they did, or they never really bragged about it, or, I was in the service. Never really talked about it. Like I said, my dad and all his brothers, and they just never talked about that stuff.
I'm glad they're moving fast and flying through his formative years. Because, Jesus Christ, Greek swords and Irish Revolutionary armies and destroyers. And
up to them, that was their duty, and they were glad to do it for the country. So basically, my dad moved back. He always wanted to live in San Diego. He wanted to be a policeman out there. He was not tall enough. At that time, they had regulations that they were strict on, height and weight regulations. And he just was not tall enough. These guys and women that I served with on the police department that, my dad saw some of the people I worked with, and he just could not believe it. He was like, I couldn't get on the police department because of my height. Now, what happened to that? And I said, Dad, that's federal lawsuits. That's what it's called. So,
how long were your parents in San Diego?
Yeah, Dad, you should have
when
filed
did they bring
one.
Your family back to Chicago.
I don't even remember how many years they said they were out there, but they did come back here because my dad said, well, if I can't get on here in San Diego, I know I can get on in Chicago because his sister's husband was a big shot and ran the Teamsters in Chicago at that time in the 40s, 50s, and 60s.
Nepotism,
Red Heinz.
connections.
He was a heavyweight. A lot of political clout through the politicians because he was a labor guy. My dad went to him and said, I'm taking a police test. And he said, can you look out for me? That was nothing to get a police or fire job or a city job, more so than nowadays. I guess he mentioned it to his wife, my dad's sister. He talked to my dad about a week later and said, yeah, you're not going to be a policeman. Well, why not? He says, well, your sister doesn't want you to be. It's too dangerous. And you're a family man now, and you got to take care of your family.
He said your sister doesn't want you to be?
My sister's not going to tell you what I do for
Yeah,
a living.
my
The
sister ain't
politicians,
got
because
shit
he
to
was a
say
labor guy.
about it.
My dad went to him and said, I'm taking a police test. And he said, can you look out for me? That was nothing to get a police or fire job or a city job, more so than nowadays. I guess he mentioned it to his wife, my dad's sister. He talked to my dad about a week later and said, yeah, you're not going to be a policeman. Well, why not? He says, well, your sister doesn't want you to be. It's too dangerous. And you're a family man now, and you got to take care of your family.
You wild.
And he just told him, Mickey, my sister's not going to tell you what I do for a living. I'm a grown man with children and a wife. He said, well, I'll make you a fireman. And my dad's like, you can have it. I'm not interested. And he regretted it because he probably would have made a good fireman too. My dad always wanted to be in civil service like that. So it was unfortunate.
Yeah, but you going in on your knees if you do that. You take the fireman job, you wanted the CPD job, and your sister said no. Because they feel like, oh, since we're doing him a favor and we're using our connections and our nepotism to get him hired, he's going to have to do it our way. This is their way of putting him under their thumb. You know what I'm saying? So he would have took the fireman job. He would have just been under somebody's thumb regardless. The fact that he turned it down and then they didn't offer him the cop job like, oh, my bad, we're wrong, just lets you know what they were on. They were trying to son him. You know what I'm saying? They were trying to, run his life. Get your ass out of here. People, I'm telling you, you can't give lames power. You ask a lame for a favor, that lame is going to hold that thing over